Yeah. Hello. Welcome back to Confident Conversations. And today I've got a very special guest, Mr. Latyno Bbi.
I get to say, mami, you don't know who it is, Latyno Bbi. Let's get it.
How you been, bro? How's the music coming on?
Yeah, man, it's been really good this year. It started off to a great start. Yeah, I can't really be complaining, bro. Can't complain.
Defo. I know that you are with Troy. Troy's your manager.
Yes.
Some of your friends are in Miami, I believe. They're in Miami now, doing the music.
Yes.
Were you originally part of that plan, or were you?
Yeah, so I think it was going to be a songwriting camp in Colombia, and then from there I think they were moving over to Miami. I think I was meant to be going out more to the Colombia one because also the time frame, that was a long camp, innit? So I wouldn't have been able to go out for that amount of time. But then also, in saying that, kind of not going has also opened a whirlwind of opportunities. So I actually can't really complain about not going.
Definitely. I think everything happens for a reason, to be fair.
No, definitely.
And it's something that I've always lived by.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything happens for a reason. If you don't go, it's because something bigger is meant for you.
Well, yeah. To be fair, I hope so, innit?
Yeah, it's no shade to the other lot who have gone to the camp and have done amazing work.
No, of course.
But I think you are made for bigger things. I heard your song today, actually. I haven't heard it before too much.
Yeah.
And it's very catchy, you know.
Yeah, it's a nice little. I think it was a good introductory song to sort of like just break in and be like, look, this is Latyno Bbi. It's kind of what we're working with. The project was nice and cool because we were working with me and Esco were working together quite tightly, and it was a really nice sort of way to break that experience in the studio, being like consistently working with somebody, and that song kind of came together. I think we did it in like 4 hours.
Oh wow!
So like I think it was like a verse and a hook idea, and then we just elaborated on it, and then we just pumped out the song 4 hours, and we were like, do you know what? This is actually pretty cool. And as I said, it was a nice first song to sort of come into, I guess, the industry and be like, look, this is me. This is what, there's more to come of me. And also there's a lot of transitioning that's going to be happening very soon that I'm very excited about. So yeah.
Oh, was that your first song as Latyno Bbi? Or
Yeah. That was my first song like ever. Bro.
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it seems like I think for me, it seems like such a long time to have come with my first track because I'm only 21. So I feel like I should have maybe released music earlier, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. Yeah. Because I think now where I'm at this process of like, okay, cool, I've released my first track. It was, I think, July last year. That's so bad. I don't even remember exactly when I released the song.
That's fine.
But it's like I released that track and it was like, cool, I feel like I'm sort of really evolving into who Latyno Bbi really wants to be. Yeah. And I think everything, as you said, fell into the right place and everything happens at the right time for a reason.
100%. And I think that's exactly what Lizzie said as well. Especially when Troy came along to help her or asked to be her manager, it sort of fell into plan. Yeah. And I've been speaking to Troy for about a week now. He's all right. I've gotten to know him a little bit. I think with the collaborations between you and Lizzie, you and Troy, I think you're going to go for 100%.
Oh, thank you.
Defo. We did squeeze this podcast in a bit finally.
Yeah, to be fair.
We did this within 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, bro, literally 2 days.
But I'm glad you came on. We were speaking about festivals and Box Park you've performed. How was that for you, the Box Park?
Yeah, I think I did 2, I want to say 2 or 3. I definitely know I did 2, so I'm not sure if I did the third one. I remember the first one that I did a more of an acoustic set. So me being obviously the artist that I am, as much as I love being an artist, I also love music, and I'm a musician at the end of the day. Like I play guitar, I play piano and stuff, and I was just like, let me just do something different because a lot of these type of events that you normally go to, everyone does the backing track thing, and it's cool. It is really cool, but I was like, why not just do something different? And don't get me wrong, it was a complete shit show. The guitar cut out halfway through the set, but also I still powered on, I still continued on as if nothing had happened. Because at the end of the day, the show must go on. Even if something cuts out, you don't stop, you just carry on. And to be fair, I still had a really good performance that day and still got a really good reception from people. And then the second time I did it was when Too Much had come out. Okay. So I then obviously did with the backing track, and that was even better because everything went really well. I had a really great performance that night, and a lot of people were feeling the song, ended up sort of downloading the song, streaming the song, which was really nice. Yep. And I also gained a few followers as people sort of like loved the way I performed, and yeah, I guess I'm a good performer. I guess so. Yeah,
I guess so, bro. But I guess it comes from experience.
Yeah. But I've been doing this for, even though I said I'm young.
Yeah.
But sort of like what Mourinho said. I love my football, so I always go back to Mourinho. Like what Mourinho said with Rashford, where they said, "Oh, he's a young player, but he's an experienced player." The guy had been playing in the Prem since he was 16. So I've been, realistically speaking, doing music since I was year 10.
Oh wow!
So as in properly, where I had my first little manager, I was doing this shitty little pub gigs that nobody goes to. When you're singing you're singing in a dingy pub. There's only two people that are there that don't really want to listen to you, but they have to, I guess.
Yeah.
I've done all of that character building, so everything is just falling into place where I've been able to take these opportunities that I'm getting now and fully take them, because I'm used to all types of crowds, big crowds, small crowds, intimate crowds, the people that don't want to be there but then end up liking the performance. So yeah, I feel like experience comes with being everywhere, but also I don't think experience necessarily comes with age, which is one thing that I kind of dislike about people when they're just like, "Oh, you're so young." It's like, yeah, I'm young, but bro, man's got some experience, you know. I'm not a baby.
Definitely. Let me ask you something, because I want to say artists, but a lot of people don't speak about the struggles that they faced when they first started. I think a lot of people don't show it. But you said you started in year 10, roughly. What struggles did you face in the music industry when you first started?
I feel like I kind of grew into, I wouldn't say I was, when I first started, I wouldn't say I was necessarily directly involved in the music industry, because I feel like people throw that term around quite loosely, like, "Oh yeah, I'm in the music industry." It's like, well, I don't think you are yet. Yeah. I feel like coming into the music industry, I feel like that's more of a conversation when you start having conversations with labels, when you start getting proper management to start taking you places. I feel like that's when you really start seeing the effect of the industry. I don't think as such I had hardships of the industry when I was sort of starting off. It was more the hardships of just finding my sound, going out and performing, facing your fears of singing in front of people who don't want you there. Like, you know, doing all these gigs, as I said, doing the pub gigs that nobody really wants. Like, no one's paid to go and see you. You've done a free set. And don't get me wrong, there was many gigs that I literally like, obviously, you might not really cry like that, but bro, there were certain gigs I finished, bro, I almost felt like bawling out. Because I was like, this was shit. Like, I sung my little cotton socks off to one person and they ignored me the whole time. But as I said, it was all character building. And I think the hardships were more so coming from, as I said, just performing in different types of environments when you were just doing it, one, for the experience, one, to get yourself out there and just sort of push that fear of performing. Because don't get me wrong, even the most experienced performers will like, they get used to it. Yeah. But there's always that initial fear that comes with it, that initial anxiety that comes with it. But also you learn to turn that anxiety into a boost. Like right now, I love it. I love that little buzz. I know for me, if I don't get the buzz when I'm performing or before I'm going to perform, I know that I'm somewhere where it's either too easy or it's not pushing me. Whereas when I do an event that I'm feeling a bit of a buzz, I'm like, okay, this is where I'm meant to be. So it's really cool, like even switching those nerves that I got when I was in year 10 of, oh my God, I'm shit scared, I don't want to do this, to, yeah, I'm ready now, the nerves are good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you ever suffer from like mental health with the music, or not really? Or did that help it?
Yeah, I think with in touching with mental health, so when my dad passed away when I was 18, that put a massive stop to the music, but also that happened during COVID. Yeah. So I never really got to finish school, if that makes sense. Okay. And then when my dad passed away, I was signed to an independent record label, and that kind of all fell through, one, because of COVID, and two, I just wasn't really in the right mind space to be doing anything, and it kind of put me in a place where I didn't want to bother with music anymore. I was like, oh, I'm done with it, it's just long. Because you almost feel like, which is one thing that I did learn about the industry, is that there's a lot of whining and dining. There's a lot of sweet talking people, and sometimes the action isn't necessarily there. But also sometimes things are just not meant to work out. Like I've had certain experiences where I've been wined and dined and it hasn't worked out because they just said they talked the talk and never did anything. But then I've also had experiences where they've treated me really nicely, they've taken places, and it's just things haven't worked out because it just wasn't the right time and it wasn't the right place. But that also doesn't discredit them for what they tried to do, because at the end of the day, it might just not have been the right combination. Like certain two things don't always mix and make a good outcome. Sometimes you might have two really good things and they mix together and it actually doesn't turn out to be great. And then touching more on the mental health side of things, I think after my dad died, I did take a massive knock-on effect and I did need time to sort of get over it. But I wouldn't say, I'm also not, it might be controversial, but I'm also not a big believer of like mental health stops you from doing things. I feel like that's more of a, a belief system.
Yeah.
I'm very big on my belief systems, and I'm very big on if something happens, things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And you either take it as like okay, shit, let me take my time out, let me recuperate and get there. Or just completely just fluff it and just let it get over you. And don't get me wrong, it happens, because it did happen to me. Like, I crashed a load of times, but it's the in-between of crashing. It's, okay, what can I do to get up? That for me really determines the type of person that you are and the type of things that you're going to achieve. So yeah, I just kind of say, touching on the mental health side of things, it obviously affects everyone, and it has affected me personally, but I always try and distinguish Juan and Latyno Bbi as two different people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the way, like an alter ego. Like, it kind of helps you just, when you need to be Latyno Bbi is the artist. He's the guy who just is the face. And then Juan is the person. So when Juan needs to be Juan, he'll be Juan.
Okay.
But when Latyno Bbi needs to be Latyno Bbi, there's no room for Juan. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. Did you ever grow up?
Yeah.
Because I know for me and a lot of Latinos out there, we grew up hearing, you're a man, you can't cry.
Yeah.
You know, the mental health just didn't exist to us. They'll be like, you want mental health from?
Yeah.
Did you ever get that? Or was it like, for you, now it's more of a more common thing?
No, I definitely feel like growing up, you're not... I wouldn't say... it's quite weird with my parents, because my parents were quite... When it came to discipline and when it came to doing things, there was no room for nonsense. It was, you need to do well in this and that. But also I was pushed in a way that has now meant I can be the person that I am today. So I'm super grateful for the way I was brought up. I do think that the mental health side of things, but I don't even think it's a Latino thing. I just think for the older generation, like our parents, I don't think, for example, like with my parents, and I know other parents that are not Latino, that they don't touch upon it. Mental health was not a thing that they spoke about as such. And yeah, I feel like it's more of a generational thing. I feel like now we're more aware of things, whereas the previous generations, it was more like, they wouldn't class it as depression, to be like, oh, you're being sad, just cheer up, you got things to do, mate, you need to go and work, you need to go do this and that. Whereas now I feel like it's more of a conversation of like, okay, I'm not feeling great, what can I do to actually, do I need to talk to people, do I actually need to have myself being heard? But I don't think my parents were too harsh on the sort of, if I needed comfort, if I needed that space, they were cool with me. I think the one place they were harsh was discipline and getting things done. So I think I got that side of the brunt, where it was like, yeah, if you need your time, you need your time, but also, if it's you need your time, but you need to get things done, I'm very sorry. You need to go and get things done. So I think that was a sort of difference that I kind of personally experienced.
Fair enough. Yeah, for me, it was more of, I don't know, like, I felt like I grew up alone a lot of the time. So I think I became very independent very quickly.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I got a lot of the mental health stuff, and you want mental health, I'll give you something to cry about. I got a lot of that, but I don't think discipline was ever really a thing for me. It was more of a so like with homework, por ejemplo, I never used to do it, and yes, I used to get told off, but I didn't really care at the time. So I think that affected a lot of my procrastination. Because I had a lot of procrastination up until 2020. And I think it's just about teaching yourself how to be more consistent, how to do what you need to do and focus and be determined and driven, which I think is something that I have a lot more of now.
Definitely.
But yeah, with my parents, I don't think I ever got that sort of discipline. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I think for me it was more... My parents pushed me in the areas that I needed to be pushed in. So, don't get me wrong, I was lit at school, my grades were all banging. But my thing was music and football. So especially my dad. My mum didn't so much push us in those sort of areas, because to be fair, like it was my dad who was doing most of the pushing for us. So it was like my dad was making sure we were at the best places that we could be. We got the instruments that we needed. We got the football boots that we needed. You need to go do this. You need to go do that. But also my dad's sort of version of discipline was, for example, I'd be on holiday and there'd be an open mic. Yeah, my son's performing. And I'd be like, what do you mean? And then my dad would just look at me and be like, you're performing? Okay, Dad, I don't really want to. Do I care? You go up and perform. That was the way my dad, that was the way I got the, sort of, you know how you kind of said, which is very different, but you know how you kind of said there's no room for mental health? No, it was, as soon as my dad said you need to go and do it, you do it. So it was like, I remember there was one time when I was well, we were in Spain, and in Spain they do things called ferias, which are like the town parties.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, you need to go and perform. I was like, but how am I going to go and perform? My dad drove all the way back to the other town, got a guitar for me. Yeah, he's performing, by the way. I had to go up there, perform in front of everyone. Don't get me wrong, it went really well, but it's that type of pushing, and it's the type of you need to go and do things that my dad made me do. And I couldn't say no. If I said no to my dad, oh my days, it was like, why not? You're not taking it seriously. You're not taking it seriously. But I also, as I said, it's that character building. It's that being able to get up wherever you are. You need to drop something now. Cool, boom, boom, boom. I can do it. So I think that tough. I call it tough love. I think that's what it is called. It's tough love. But I also feel like when you look at a lot of successful people in general, a lot of them are brought up on tough love, and sometimes it affects people in the positive way. Sometimes it affects people in a negative way, but also everyone's different, innit? I feel like for me, tough love is what I thrive off the most in pressure. Like, I love pressure. I can't do anything without pressure. Yeah. If you tell me something and there's no pressure, I won't bother. There's no point.
Definitely. I think something that I've learned along the way is you have to create your own opportunities. You can't. You can't wait for opportunities to come. No. You've got to create your own, which is actually more special than when you get an opportunity.
Yeah, but then also kind of like what you said, things happen for a reason. I feel like I feel like in general, luck plays a massive part of things, but I'm also a big believer of like you create your own luck. Yeah. So the opportunities that you are going to get are because of you paved the way for those. Yeah. Like somebody might have offered you an opportunity that you might not have ever seen coming, but there's a specific reason why you've been given that opportunity. And that's because you're either good at what you do, or you've put yourself on so many platforms and had so many good rapports of you that people are like, we want this person. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I feel like it is quite difficult sometimes to take credit for things when you've been given certain opportunities. Yeah. But also I feel like ultimately you have to also take that accountability for yourself and be like, yeah, like I also worked hard for this. I haven't just been given a handout. Because I think handouts are a weird one. Yeah. Because I feel like handouts are more where someone's just giving it to you for the sake of giving it to you, and it's something that you're not 100% good at or whatnot, but they've just given you, like, yeah, here you go, take it. But I feel like when you've actually got an opportunity, there's a reason why you've been given that. Yeah. I think that's really what it comes down to.
I agree with you up until a certain point. Okay. I think something that, well, for me personally, I was always waiting for the opportunity. Even when I started this journey, I was always waiting for an opportunity to sort of kick down that door. Yeah. But when I wasn't getting it, for me it was like, okay, actually, let me just create my own opportunities. Let me create my own sort of path, my own journey. And I think for me, it's been a lot more special to see what I can do, to go, actually, I don't need to wait for an opportunity to come knocking. I can do this myself. I can actually pave the way for myself and excel.
But then playing devil's advocate here, do you not think sometimes you're in the wrong area to even get those opportunities? Because also I feel like you can give something 100%, but it's just not the right thing for you. Like, I know, for example, I'm not the greatest, I'm not... Football, for example. Yeah. I know right now, if I was to go and train 5 times a week, was to go on the same diet as the footballers, do everything the same as a footballer, I'll never become a professional footballer. It won't happen. That's not meant for me. But that's not because I've waited for an opportunity. It's just I don't think... Sometimes I feel like people put eggs in a basket that was never there for them. Do you feel like that plays a part of it? And I feel like then you creating your own luck is because you put your eggs in the right basket and then things started opening. What do you think about that?
I agree. And I agree because I did that with boxing.
Okay.
So I was doing boxing for about a year and a half. Yep. And for me, I don't know if you know Misfits.
Yeah.
So my whole dream... So I was a motivational speaker, a life coach, an author, but I had put 90% of the eggs into that basket of boxing. Right. And when that got taken away from me, due to medical reasons, I was like, oh my God, I feel empty. I feel like this isn't what I was preparing for. And my whole dream was to fight Deji, to fight JJ. Yeah. At least just them two and I'll be out.
Yeah.
I was never for the bag. It was just
to do it.
because I knew I could do it in my head.
Yeah.
But when that got taken away from me, I was like, where do I go now? What do I do now?
Of course.
And then I remembered a couple of conversations that I've had with a couple of people, and they were like, Juan, do a podcast. You've been really good at it. Do a podcast. And I started thinking about it, started looking for studios, and the first season, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't completely happy with the first season.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was rushing everything. I was leaving way too many gaps between episodes.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't going my way. Luch then messaged me. He was like, Juan, you're doing great. A lot of compliments from different people, especially Luch. But when he saw a vision in the podcast, I was like, actually, this might be the route I need to take. This might be something that I need to do. Come November, I was like, you know what, let me get a few episodes out, let me try. I'm still here doing it, and I'm still ahead of the game, and I'm still
that's good though.
episodes ahead. So 100% I agree with what you said. Yes, luck plays a part in it, and
it has to.
And everything happens for a reason.
Definitely.
But also, I think you've got to go onto the wrong path to get back onto the right path at some point.
Yeah, I feel like elaborating on that sort of wrong path to get onto the right path. I don't necessarily think you have to get onto the wrong path, but you might be on, for example, like with music, for me, I see music was always the right path, but there's different avenues you can take that are the wrong paths. But I feel like the ultimate road, if you're on the right road, no matter how many wrongs you end up getting on that road, you will then eventually be taken to the right. But I feel like if you're on the wrong road in general, no matter which road you take, you're gone. You're finished. There was no point in being on that road.
Yeah, but I think if you're on the wrong road completely, at some point you're going to hit a roadblock.
Yeah, of course.
That you just can't overcome. And I think that's what a lot of people don't get.
People will try, but sometimes it's just at the wrong place, mate.
I think I've always said I've overcome a lot of obstacles in my way, and I've always said you can always overcome those obstacles.
No, definitely.
However, the thing with that is if you're not passionate about it and you're not motivated by it, that overcoming of that obstacle isn't going to happen.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You're just going to keep hitting obstacles.
100%. But as I said, that also leans back to what I said originally of if you're in the wrong lane, regardless, no matter what obstacle you face. Don't get me wrong, I also do believe in hard work and trying.
Yeah.
And I do feel like hard work, at the end of the day, will always prevail, will always be what takes you and puts you over the edge. Because don't get me wrong, there will always be people that will work harder than you. But sometimes it's the people that work harder than you in the right areas that are the ones that excel very well. Like, and that's what a lot of businessmen, a lot of entrepreneurs say.
Yeah.
Like, these businessmen and entrepreneurs, like one of my clients, they told me this one quote, and when he said it to me, I was like, what? But then when I deep down, I was like, rah. They were like, sometimes the smartest person in the room is the dumbest. And I sat and thought, what does the smartest person in the room being the dumbest mean? And then I sat there and thought, actually, hold on. So, if the CEO of the company has no GCSEs, has no grades, no qualifications, but he was able to hire somebody with a master's in this, somebody with a master's in that, somebody with a master's in that, and he got them working for him and making more money. Who's the smartest person in the room?
Yeah.
The guy with no GCSEs.
100%.
So I feel like sometimes people then take for granted the fact that, I'm not talented. You don't need to be. Sometimes you need to work in the right areas and then put the hard work in those areas. Because no matter how hard you work at something, if you're not doing it in the right area, as you said, you're going to hit a roadblock.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're working in the right area at the right speed that you should be working, it will happen. And
I agree.
Linking back to that, sometimes the smartest person in the room can generally be the dumbest.
Yeah.
But it's just because they used what they knew to fulfill what they wanted.
100%. And I think with that message, you've quietened a lot of parents up in the sense of, we always used to get, si no estudias no vas a salir, no vas a llegar a ninguna parte.
Yeah.
Simon Cowell. There's a lot of Simon Cowell dropped out of school.
Yeah.
And look at where he is now. There's a lot of people that drop out of school and and are successful.
Yeah, I do think though school is important. I think, do you know what it is with school? What school doesn't teach you is how to actually apply what you learn in school in the outside world.
Yeah.
Because also so to give you a rundown of what happened with me in school. So obviously I went to school up until, you do your secondary up to 16. Then I went to Brit school. And then I didn't get to finish Brit school because of COVID. But as soon as I went to Brit school, essentially Brit school is, you don't learn anything, you're just doing music. So it's like my learning stopped at Brit school. Then when I ended up having to take over my dad's company, I had no clue on what to do because one, you were never taught about anything to do with business in school. Even when you do business in school, it's a load of bollocks anyway. So it's like, but what I did learn was your basic maths and English, which is all I needed. So I'm not saying, oh, don't bother in school. No, I feel like you need to do your best at everything that you possibly can because you also will learn things. But for me, the main skills that I took into running the business that I run is communication and just maths.
Okay.
That's it.
Let me counter that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give the opposite message from you. I feel like with school, how do I put this? With school, they teach you how to be an employee.
Yeah, of course.
Rather than
the employer.
The employer, the manager, the CEO.
Yeah.
You're taught to be a slave.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I think, honestly, life teaches you how to be a manager. Life teaches you how to be a leader, a CEO. But I don't agree with that. I don't agree with schools teaching you to be a slave. I can't.
But I think, as I said, it's the way you view things. But also, school has different opportunities it's little dumb things like being a prefect of school. Taking like leadership roles within your school in certain areas, like those being captain in football teams, all those type of skills that you learn, which some are exterior to school. But I feel like also school, it depends on what you want to do. For example, if you want to be a doctor, you want to be a scientist, whatever it is, you need to go to school. Because at the end of the day, without a school, you can't do that.
100%.
But I feel like for other careers that are more on the entrepreneurship side of things, the creative industry, they don't teach you much for that. However, it's the in-betweens that you can do, like being a prefect, like having those responsibilities, learning how to be a leader, how to communicate between people, how to delegate responsibility, which is probably one of the biggest skills. I think one of the biggest skills you need in a skill set is how to delegate responsibility. Because if you can't delegate responsibility, you're going to stay working your whole life. Yeah. Especially if you want to run a business, you need to be able to delegate responsibility to people who are responsible enough to do the job. And I feel like you do learn those things through school. Maybe not directly, but indirectly. But then also, I feel like school is a good place socially. I think, don't get me wrong, if I could do school again, I probably would. You know what I mean? Because I loved going to school. I loved going to something completely different. You're out, you're chilling with your boys and whatnot. You're pissing about. Yeah, lessons are shit. But it's still part of growing up. And that also molds you for future life.
Okay. Yeah, I was opposite. I hated school. I completely hated school.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I hated school. I could not be bothered with school.
I didn't mind it though. I quite liked school, fam.
Nah, I hated it.
Serious, I enjoyed it though because I just had all my you have your guys there, you'd have all the different things that you do in school. You go there, you do your business, and you cut out.
Yeah, but I went to a bad school.
So I went to a shit school, but I think because I was cool with most people, I was alright. Don't get me wrong. When I got into year 7, that was a horror. Because when I was in year 7, obviously I loved to sing and everything, and then I sung in front of the whole school and stuff like that. But at the beginning, instead of getting the compliments of, right, you can sing, it was like, right, you're a batty man, why are you singing, da da da. Bearing in mind, this was at a time where things like the LGBT stuff and that wasn't a big thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying, man, obviously, but no, obviously, if you're LGBT, it's like, great, do your thing. But for me, obviously, when I was getting called names like I'm a batty boy, I'm this and that, and I was like, but what? I just sung. Yeah. Like, what? And then as soon as the older girls in the year 11s were like, oh my God, he's so cute, he can sing, that's when everything changed for me. So as soon as it happened, I was like, I'm cool, I'm Gucci. But as I said, that's still growing up and it's still hardship. I hated that. Yeah. How am I going to tell a year 11 who's calling me a batty man to do something? He'll smack me in my face and tell me, shut up, man.
Defo. No, I think for me it was the inconsistency. I saw a lot of guns at school.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw a lot of guns at school. I saw a lot of knives.
Yeah, knives. Well, I'm saying knives like it's normal. It's not, but guns.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I saw guns at school. Let's just take it out like it's nothing.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, so I grew up seeing guns. It was like a normal thing for me. But the Edmonton N9 gangs, I grew up around them. It wasn't like the best environment. Teachers were bullies.
Yeah.
So, put it this way, my school, in my final year, English, I got moved sets. So, year 10 and 11, I got moved sets.
Yeah.
5 times?
Jesus.
5 times.
Jesus.
From higher set to lower set, from lower set back to higher set, and within the last 2 weeks of the year before the GCSEs, I got moved all the way back to lower set.
Jesus. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so I hated school. I think the only class I really liked was media. But yeah, it was horrible.
See, but then also I feel like the area that I grew up in, like as much as I didn't grow up in the best of areas, I love the fact that I'm from that area. Like, I'm not saying like I love it, like, oh, I rep my, no. But it's more of like growing up where I grew up taught me so many just life skills, just being road aware, being road smart, like being cool with everyone, being able to be with cool with people that are not necessarily on the right paths, but you're still able to communicate with them in a certain way. Where, for example, like, bro, I used to kick ball when I was like year 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up until year 11. I just go down to the local pitch and you'll be playing football with kids. You'll be playing football with kids that weren't necessarily the best kids, but just by being able just to be around them and just chatting to them, like you realize that everyone, even though they might be the bad dudes and stuff, everyone has the good in them as well. And I feel like I loved growing up where I grew up because that's made me who I am. That's part of my personality. And I also feel like when you don't grow up in areas like that, you're not street smart, you're not road smart. So you see a lot of these bad things happening and you're like, if you were just a bit street smart and a bit thingy, you'd know let me just avoid this, let me just avoid that, let me just, you just know how to move around, I think. So as I said, as your school is in a bad area, I feel like, like if I went to a school in a really good area, I grew up in a good area, I'd be shit scared going to bad areas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like being from a certain area where you've adapted to it, you know what I mean? And I think it just helps, man. I don't know.
Definitely.
Character building, isn't it?
It's very much character building, yeah. Because as much as I said I hated the school, I'm not scared to go like into Tottenham, into like Hackney, Brixton. I'm not scared because I grew up around that. So but as I said, it's knowing like I would never bother going to it if I don't need to be somewhere. Yeah, there's no point of going there, and it's just being aware of things like. Yeah, it's just, I think it's just being aware and just knowing your surroundings and just being cool around everyone, not acting a certain way because you don't want to perceive a certain perception of yourself that then puts you in trouble. Because you also learn that. Because a lot of people have a big mouth and then when it comes to it, things don't go their way. But then you learn, if you've grown up in an area where people with big mouths normally get their mouth shut up, you kind of learn, you know what, let me just be a bit smarter and just chill. Like, I know who I am. Yeah, to be fair, you got to know who you can joke around with.
Yeah.
So again, at school, I was with the like local gangs, and I used to be like, "What are you saying, bro? Like, what are you gonna do?"
Yeah.
And they like chased me, but I knew it was like joking about.
Yeah.
And I know if I did that on the street,
it's long.
I wouldn't be here.
No, you'd be finished.
100%. So it's just about knowing who you can like joke about with, knowing what you can do. But yeah, I hated school. That's the moral of that story. I hated school.
Yeah, I kind of understand that. I think, but as I said, growing up, like I love the fact from being from South London, but I also feel like there's a certain swagger that you get from being from London in general. Like, for example, where I'm moving up to, I'm going to be moving up north. Like, them man don't have that swag. They don't have that London swag. You know what I mean? And it sets you apart. But also, I feel like, and then that links back to the artistry. Like, I think being from London, especially South London, obviously, South London. Come on. It's one of those ones where it almost becomes a part of your artistry. You know what I mean? Like that swagger that you carry around, the way that you talk, the fact that you can talk to anybody and everybody, it doesn't matter who it is, because where you grow up is a multicultural area. Like I can talk to anyone, no matter what race and things like that, because I've grown up in a multicultural area. I know how to talk to all different classes, and that's part of just growing up. You know what I mean? But I feel like you don't get those experiences when you grow up in a place that, I don't know. I think, I wouldn't change the way I've grown up. I wouldn't change the school. I wouldn't change anything.
I don't think I would either, actually. As much as I hate the school, it built who I was.
Of course, it's character building, bro.
100%. And I think everything has sort of set me up to be where I am today, and I absolutely love it. One thing I do a lot of though is think about what if a lot of what ifs. A lot of what ifs comes to mind. What if this happened? What if that happened? What if I had done that differently? Would I still be?
I feel like the what ifs are a good thing to base future actions off of. Like I feel like when you dwell on what ifs, nothing gets done, and you just end up procrastinating in a certain area, and it's just worse for you, and you end up overthinking. I think the what ifs are a good question to ask for the future references. For example, if you didn't take up a certain opportunity because of this, or if you didn't speak to this person at that specific time. Yeah. Like I've had many times when I've been like, oh, what if I just spoke to this person? And I'm not saying on like a relationship basis, I'm saying more of like, what if I spoke to this person about an opportunity, but I was too scared to do it? Because all it is like the worst thing you can do with somebody is just say, like speaking with people, like I always get those what ifs, like, what if I just said, yo, can I quickly chat to you? The worst thing I could have got was a no.
Yep.
And I feel like what ifs are a great thing to base off of future decisions that you make. I feel like when you start asking what ifs about the past, you're just going to end up going around in circles and it's just mashing you up.
100%, bro. 100%.
I'm super grateful for the opportunities that are happening and are yet to come as well, because I know things are going to land for me, and I'm a big manifestor. I love to manifest what's going to happen because I've always had a big dream and I've always had a big goal and I've always had it in my mind that I'm going to get there. I might not know how I'm going to get there exactly, but it's going to all fall into place. So I don't think I regret not taking certain opportunities, because if I didn't take the opportunity, it was probably for a reason. It was probably because one, I wasn't ready, or two, it just probably wasn't the right thing to do.
Okay, but do you not think that those opportunities might not come again? So I'll give you an example. For me, I'll think of something and I'll be like, shit, I didn't take that opportunity. Or I'll go, you know what, it'll come around again. Yeah. Now, for me, I think if the opportunity is for me, it will come again, or something better will come along. Yeah. But I know a lot of people, or some people will go, actually, the opportunity might not come, and I've missed out.
Yeah, but then I also feel like not every opportunity is a good opportunity. So one, I think learning the power of no is really important. Yeah. Because everyone thinks that you have to take every opportunity, and you don't. Generally, sometimes the best thing to do is just say no. Yeah. But then in other circumstances, I feel like if you don't have a strong team behind you, there'll be opportunities you miss out, not because of. Because also I feel like sometimes it's good to have other people's judgment. That's why having someone like Troy is really important for me, because I might think an opportunity might not be good for me, but he might be like, no, I think you should do it because of this. Yeah. So sometimes I do think maybe it's just you're not around the right people and the right team to actually tell you, yeah, you should do this, you shouldn't. But I feel like if you've genuinely missed out on an opportunity, your intuition would be able to tell that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I just think if you didn't take an opportunity, you didn't take it. Don't get me wrong. If it was a dumb opportunity, like you could give him the opportunity of a lifetime, you said no, then that's when I'd be like, you must have had a crazy reason to say no. But if you didn't have a crazy reason, then you're dumb.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like if you've turned down an opportunity, that was a mad opportunity, and you said no, unless you had a mad black reason, I don't see why you would have turned it down.
I mean, I think if it's not the right time, it's not the right time.
That's also one, but also I feel like it depends on the magnitude of the opportunity. But I feel like for me personally, I feel like if you've been given an opportunity that you might think is not the right time, can you make it the right time? Because also remember, convenience is not a thing that is not a fortune that everyone gets. Convenience is a fortune that people get when they're there. Yeah. When you've made your name, when you've made this, that's when convenience is a fortune that you can afford to have.
Definitely.
When you're not in that position of you've made it, you've done thingy, everything will be an inconvenience. But you have to make an inconvenience a convenience.
Definitely.
It's mad.
100%, bro. Yeah. I think. So the reason I'm saying this is because it's more like if you were offered a multi-millionaire and a multi-million-pound deal. Yes. But it wasn't like. Yes. See, I don't think I would, depending on the circumstances. Because if it's not gonna. But what circumstances could you turn that down? No, but I'm saying like if it's not gonna give me the opportunities that I'm looking for, why would I take?
But that? Okay, yeah, but as I said, I'd rather take. But are you in a position to turn like? It sounds mad though, because that just seems like
for me, if I was offered 3 contracts of let's say 100k,
Yeah.
500k,
And 2 mil.
and 2 mil.
Yeah.
But the 100k was going to offer me a lot more opportunities to get out there. The 500k was going to give me here and there a few opportunities, but nothing like too major. And then the 2 million is just multi-year, doing 1 or 2 episodes of podcasts. I was at the 100k because, number one, this is what I love to do.
Yeah.
Number two, yes, it's 100k, but it's something that I love, and it's something that I want to get my name out there. I don't want to be like, I'm doing it for the money.
I hear that because when you flip it in music terms, it's like, for example, would you rather sign to an independent label that may not necessarily come with an advance, but they'll put their time and effort into you, they'll help you develop and become the artist, or would you rather sign to a major label for a big advance, but they're basically going to mold you into what they want? I completely understand that. I would 100% choose the independent route, where I'd rather not get the money and I'd rather actually focus on my development, etc. to get that. But I feel like, as I said, it depends on the opportunity. If you're offering me 2 M's, like let's say all the money is not, I don't have to pay it back.
Yeah.
I'm taking 2 million, bro. Okay. And I'm making that 2 million multiplied by crazy amounts. Like, because I also feel like certain opportunities might not seem like the right thing, but then you also have to look at the opportunity and be like, actually, hold on a minute, what can I get out of it? Mm-hmm. And also, if you can make money, like, but obviously that's an extreme circumstance. From 100k to 2 mil, bro. If you gave me a 2 mil contract and you told me, look, you need to sing flipping, I don't know, you need to sing Bollywood, which is something completely random, for the next 3 years. I'm singing Bollywood for the next 3 years for 2 mil. For the next 3 years for 2 mil. For 2 mil, bro.
Yeah, but you just be called a sellout.
I would happily be called a sellout, knowing I made 2 mil and I made that 2 mil into something else. You know what 2 mil can do for you?
Oh, it could do a lot, 100%.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And I agree, but for me, I've got to be true to myself.
I hear that. But obviously that's a mad extreme thing. I think the message that I'm more trying to come towards is like every opportunity has something you can get out of it, but then you also have to weigh up your options. But then that also comes back down to your team. Your team will know which are the best opportunities. Like as I said, like with the going independent or going for a major, like I had the opportunity when I was, I think it was 16, 17.
Yeah.
And I chose to go the independent route. Well, the people around me were like, it's better for you to go the independent route because you're going to have more time. You're going to get more money. Not more money spent on you, but the money's going to be spent in things that are actually going to be worth your time. And you're going to learn more. Don't get me wrong. If I went straight into the major, bro, I'd probably be unhappy. I'd probably hate everything I'm doing because it's not being true to yourself.
Yeah.
But I feel like, as I said, every opportunity has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
But I feel like on a music route, I always feel like if you can avoid signing for a major label until you're ready and you're a product that they need, then I say that's when you go for a major. If you're not a product they really need right now, I'll be honest with you, that never really ends up well. Yeah. It normally ends up with you hating life for a while because you're not doing what you want to do.
They tell you what to do, no?
Yeah, like, but then also if you look at Central C, bro, this guy signed what was like a £25 million contract for 2 albums, I think it was. Why and he has control of all of that because he's made his brand so valuable that you wouldn't want to not be a part of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like it is mad important to create your own opportunities. As you sort of said, you create your own opportunities. And when it comes to music, is if you're going to land a major, make sure you're landing a major when you're the hot property on the market. You're the house in Bel Air that everyone wants.
Definitely.
You're not the house in South London in the back road that nobody wants to be in. You know what I mean? That's the difference.
100%. 100%. I think it's more of just like knowing your worth.
Nah, definitely. That's mad important. But I also feel like you end up finding out your worth. I don't think knowing your worth is. I think that's a really interesting topic. I feel like you end up finding your worth, if that makes sense, because you can know what you're worth, but also I feel like different opportunities and different things that happen. You might end up kind of devaluing yourself for certain things. And I feel like once you find your worth and then you end up knowing your worth, I feel like that's when the magic really happens because you've gone through all those trials, all those little tests that have helped you get towards that. Who am I? Those core values. So then when you've established those core values, I think that's when you're set.
Yeah, I think you've got to devalue yourself to find your worth. I think.
Yeah. Because that sounds mad though. That sounds mad, but yeah.
Because I think if you overvalue yourself, people are gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy? Why does he think he's worth that much?
But then also,
if you go, okay, I'm a little bit lower, and they'll go, actually, you're worth a little bit more. You're worth more investment. You deserve it. Yes
and no, but I also feel like knowing your worth. Like for me, I I'm very confident, and that can come across as arrogant sometimes, and I completely understand that. But for me, it's more knowing the fact that I can be great and I will be great, and people get put away from that. But you have to be borderline delusional to think that you're going to be great and you will be great. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then when you get to that will be great and great status, then you're not delusional anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like it's a mindset thing. If you're not ready to think you're the best of what you do, like look at Ronaldo, look at all your footballers that want to be the best of the best. Even though Messi's the GOAT, I will always go Messi's the GOAT. You see Ronaldo, and he's told himself he's the best of the best, and he believes that. And you can tell by his outcomes that he has proven in certain years to be the best of the best. Does that make sense? So it's all a belief system, and I feel like if you're not willing to not overvalue yourself to the point where it comes across as arrogance and to the point where it pushes people away, but if you can overvalue yourself in the way that you know your worth, you know how valuable you are to people, I feel like that's a brilliant thing, because you then won't get messed about, because you need to know this is where I'm going to end up at.
Yep. Counter argue one little point.
About Ronaldo?
Yeah.
You can give me all the arguments.
That's the only thing.
You can give me all the arguments. But
however,
never.
I think he is. I think he'll always be the GOAT. But anyway,
if he's scoring goals, I hear it. But if I want to watch one person play football, bro, I don't think. If Ronaldo never got that injury in Madrid and he stayed as the young CR7, the United CR7, I think we'd be having a different conversation. But I've not seen anybody do what Messi can do on a football pitch. I've seen plenty of people do what Ronaldo can do. Maybe not at the same magnitude, scoring the amount of goals. But for example, the bicycle kick at Juventus. People forget that that Bale scored an even better bicycle kick than him in the final.
Oh no,
you know what I mean?
I'm not saying that skill wise. I'm saying stat wise. But the only counter would be is I've seen. Like Ronaldinho used to be my GOAT, 100%.
Yeah, man.
He used to be my GOAT.
I wasn't old enough to watch him, but I've seen the compilations. Oh my.
Yeah, luckily I used to see him at Barca, and he used to be my GOAT. But going back to CR7, I think if you hear his interviews, he'll go, I train to be the best.
Yeah.
I ate to be the best. I don't eat junk foods. I do this, I do that. Messi has never said that. And for me...
Yeah.
Ronaldo has always said, I've heard a couple of interviews where he goes, I am the best because I train to be the best. I play the best. I'm the first one at a training camp and I'm the last to leave. So for me, that's not arrogance. That for me is actually he's worked hard. He's put the work in to be the best and at top level.
Yes, but if he never achieved what he achieved, it'd be called arrogance. And it'd be classed as delusional. But you have to look at all of it. Even from Man United days, he was saying he was the best. And this is what I'm trying to say about that belief system. And people, but also I feel like people that look at those people and see arrogance are people that don't understand the type of mindset you need to be successful. If you want to be successful, you need to have a bit of arrogance in you. You need to think you're the shit. You need to think you're the best of the best to get there. Because if not, the person that does think they're the best and thinks they're the shit are going to get there before you. It's all a belief system. And I feel like if your beliefs ain't lining up with the goal that you want to achieve, you're never going to achieve it.
Defo. And again, Ronaldo is my GOAT. Like for me and my sister will always say Ronaldo's the GOAT. My dad will always say Messi. And it's an argument that we have almost on a daily basis. But I think with Messi, Messi had the same injections that I had for growth hormone. I respect him. I respect him as a player. I respect him as a baller. He's done a lot. He's won the most Ballon d'Ors.
He's won the most Ballon d'Ors, won a World Cup, he won everything.
Yeah, and I can respect that. But I think he's only played in 3 leagues. Ronaldo has played in multiple teams and has gone back.
Yeah, and I completely understand the argument of playing, but why, if you're the best player in the world and the best team in the world, why would I leave? Why?
Age.
Why would I leave?
You've got to be mindful of where you are.
He stayed his whole career at Barcelona.
Oh, what?
Basically,
Messi?
He stayed his whole until obviously then he went to PSG and whatnot.
And then to Inter.
But then regardless, he spent so long at Barcelona. Why would he go anywhere else when he's winning? And he's the main focal point. Why would you leave?
Why not? Why would you not try your skills somewhere else?
Why would I? If I know I'm the best in the world, I'm in the best team in the world, and I'm winning everything, why would I leave?
Let's look at Ronaldo. He started at Man U. He did bits. He then went to Real Madrid. Again, he did bits. He went to Juventus. He did bits. Where is he now? He's at
But I'm pretty sure when But yeah, and I get the whole Ronaldo argument of him testing to go everywhere.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's such a flawed argument because it's also like, what's the point of going everywhere? If why do you need to go everywhere?
I think he wanted to test himself, which I agree with, in the sense of, if I look at me as an example, I've been in like different little paths of like, when I started, I wanted to be a motivational speaker. Yeah. I didn't get there, but I'm still trying. An author, life coach, shit didn't go well, and now a race. Yeah. See, I'm testing the waters with different things. Yeah. And this is going well right now. So I'm happy.
But now let's say the first thing that you said, which was motivational speaking, went all the way to the top.
Yes.
Yes, you can branch out, and I understand branching out, but you will ride that wave as long as you possibly can until you feel like it's stopping. And Messi rode that wave. But also the football talk is crazy. Like regardless, regardless, it's crazy. But I also feel like I love football and music, and I feel like they interlink so well in the sense of like the hard work and the talent aspects and all those type of things. And as I said, I will always love a cheeky little football reference. Because, You know me, I love my football, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And I think whatever you do, you just got to put your heart into it.
100%.
And give everything you have into it. No matter if you're a Ronaldo, Messi fan, whoever your GOAT is, your GOAT. And like, me and you, we're not going to fight over, oh my God, Messi's the best. No, Ronaldo's the best. We just have our opinions. We're going to carry on. It's not going to ruin us.
Nah, therefore. But as I said, it's one of those things that you can learn so many core values from all of them. Like
100%.
It's using that hard work that pushes you over the line. At the end of the day, music is an industry where the product needs to be great, and that's what we're focusing on. And
Definitely, bro.
So
definitely.
Sick, man.
100%. I think that's about.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. But I think the main message of this podcast was just go for what you want, create your opportunities, and don't forget that, you know, whatever happens
for a reason.
Do what you're passionate about, and it happens for a reason. Don't go through the wrong path, and you're gonna steer off at some point.
It happens.
But you're also gonna steer back right into the same path, and you're gonna do amazing.
Nah, therefore, bro, that's the goal. Come on.
100%. I think you've got a successful future ahead.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Like I said, Too Much came out, and I was hearing it in the studio, and now it's on my Apple podcast, on my Apple Music.
Sick. Oh, well, that's a good thing.
100%.
And the new music is definitely gonna be in your. I'll let you know the new music. Woo! It's too good. Like definitely. The levels are just every single song that we're gonna be releasing is gonna go from here. So as I said, by the end of the year, boy, Latyno Bbi will be a big name.
Yeah, so definitely, bro.
That's the goal, man. Let's get it, bro.
I know Troy's gonna get you far in life.
Come on, bro. With the right people.
The right people in your circle are gonna get you far.
Therefore.
Can't wait to see what you do, bro. You're gonna be performing. You're gonna be at festivals.
Yep.
Different events. You're gonna kill it. But again, you started small, and look at where you're going now.
Yeah, come on, bro. Every single day is an improvement.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. Thank you for coming on.
The best, man. Come on, bro.
Thank you.
See you guys in a bizzle.
Right, guys. Support, show love, Latyno Bbi. I'll put him in the link below.
Dale.
And go show some support. Alright, guys. In a bit.
Thank
you.
Bye.